All right, this is part one of a portrait retouching demo. I'm going to start by dragging the first demo file, which is called Tim Portrait. I have it just here as a JPEG. It's fairly decent resolution. This was initially captured with a phase 1 camera. Sized down just a little bit for our demo purposes. Anyway, we have this portrait. He's an actor. He's got a really awesome character in his face. I don't want to remove that character, but there's a few things that we're going to touch up. And I'm going to use what we learned about in the initial basic retouching demo to get this started. I'm going to duplicate this initial layer, and I'm going to do a retouch layer just for blemishes, things that I want completely gone. So I will start that by right-clicking on background layer. I'm going to say duplicate layer. I'm going to call this retouch blemishes and click OK. The retouch blemishes layer, I'm going to get rid of things completely. So there's a number of little skin spots up here and little errant hairs that I want to get rid of. I'm not, however, going to get into the wrinkles. I don't want those wrinkles completely gone, even though I may reduce them later. Right now I just want to get rid of some things completely, and I'm going to mostly use the spot removal tool, the spot healing brush tool, to get rid of things like that little hair and that blemish and this little scabby spot right there, and this here and this here and this here. You get the idea. So I'm going to go around here for just a few minutes and get rid of some of these things, and then I'll pick it up. Pause for the moment. And we'll pick it up here. I've just done a few minutes of basic retouching, getting rid of all kinds of little blemishes, bits of dried skin, little hairs that seem to be out of place, anything that I thought was distracting. But I still feel it's a pretty realistic image of our subject. Now I'm going to do a second retouching layer. I'm going to duplicate this one that I've just been working on. Go up here and choose duplicate layer, and this one I'm going to call Retouch Lines. Now here, I'm going to start working on wrinkles and distracting lines, but I don't want to get rid of those completely. I just kind of want to reduce them a little bit. So I'm going to use the spot healing brush tool on some of these. There's others where I may use the regular healing brush tool. And I'm going to get in here and I'm just going to kind of run down some of these. Now the reason why I have this as a separate layer is because later on, once I've kind of gotten rid of a lot of these wrinkles, I can bring them back by reducing the opacity of this layer. So run over a lot of these little wrinkles and give you a sense of what I'm doing here, and then I'm going to pause. And do some of this work in the interim. So I'm going to pause this for a minute. And now that I've made those retouch adjustments to the wrinkles, I think he now looks too smooth to lose a little bit of character. But I can go over here to this layer on my layers palette, the Retouch Lines layer, and take the opacity of that layer back down. And as I do, I see through to the image below that, the image layer below that, where I only retouched the blemishes, that still has the wrinkles. If I take this all the way down, we're back to all of the wrinkles. And here I might just take that up to about 50% or so. So I've got the wrinkles reduced but not completely gone. And if I take that layer away completely, there was before I did any retouching to the wrinkles. Here's after I've retouched them but left them in a little bit. So it's a nice little balance. And at this point I would save this image and move along. And we'll pick up in this retouching portraits demo in part 2 of this video series.